So this is question 2, comes from section 2.1. It's question number 3. And it says use integration to find the area of the region bounded between the function f that's shown here. This is f of x is equal to 4x cubed minus 4x and the x-axis. So we are looking for the area between the x-axis and the function. So we've got this part and we have this part. So in the so we would have to do two separate integrals unless we utilize the symmetry of this region. And so that's what it says in the question. And it says if we only integrate over 0 to 1, so from 0 to 1, this crosses at these 2 points. And if we couldn't see that, what we would do is set the two functions equal to each other. The other function is this x equals 0. So let's call this g of x. And this is our f of x. And so setting the two equal to each other would give us this. And so doing some factoring here, I would end up with x equals 0 and x squared equals 1, or x equals 0, x equals plus or minus 1. So that's how I would find where to integrate from. But it does tell us in the problem, integrate from 0 to 1. So we can see here, and so they write it like this. And unless we want to do two separate integrations, what we could do is use the symmetry of this. And it says fill in the appropriate integrand below, and remember to choose the correct top and bottom function. So in this case here, if we're looking just between 0 and 1, the top function is x equals 0, and the bottom function is the 4x cubed minus 4x. So then I'm going to write it like this: 0 minus 4x cubed minus 4x. However, that only gives me this amount. So I need to take into account this other shaded region. And so because of the symmetry of this graph, this would be the same amount. So I can just say, well, it's 2 times this. So I'm going to get 2 times negative 4x cubed plus 4x. And so that would give me negative 8x cubed plus 8x. So then in place of the blank there, I'm going to put in the integrand that is shown here. So negative 8x cubed plus 8x. Then I'll continue on and do the find the antiderivative. And so it says you can omit the plus c because this is a definite integral because it's going from 0 to 1. And so to do this integration, I'm going to say it would be negative 8 x to the 4 over 4 because I'm adding 1. And then the denominator will be 3 plus 1. Here I would get 8, and then here's x. This is to the first power, so it's going to be plus 1 x squared, and on the bottom, again, 1 plus 1 or 2. I end up with negative 2x to the 4th plus 4x squared. And that is from the definite integral is from 0 to 1. So we're going to evaluate it from 0 to 1, and we end up with this. Now when we evaluate this at 0, that part is just going to be 0, but I'll write it out here. So this part here ends up being just 0, so subtracting 0. And then here I'll have negative 2 times 1 plus 4 times 1, or my overall answer would be 2. So the exact area here would be 2. And that's how you do this type of